Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my channel, guys. So, in these occasions, I'm about to explore the fascinating world of speech acts and speech events. I will guide you to dive into the concept of speech acts, the different types, and how they differ from speech events. We're also going to explore the role of context and intentions in shaping a good communications. So, what are speech acts? Speech acts are actions we perform through speaking or writing. They go beyond simply conveying information, can be used to request, promises, warnings, etc. When we say things like I promise or I apologize, we're not just describing something, we're performing an action to our very utterance. There are the three types of speech acts that Austin proposed. The locutionary act is the basic act of producing meaningful words, while the allocutionary act is the speaker's intention behind the utterance, what they aim to achieve. And the last is the prolocutionary act, is the effect the utterance has on the listener, like the change in their beliefs or their behaviors, and many more. And consider the simple utterance like, can you pass the salt? So the locutionary act is just simply by saying those words, while the allocutionary act is a request. The speaker is asking the listener for something, like asking for the listener to pass the salt. And then the prelocutionary act is the listener complying with the request and passing the salts to the speaker. Next, we have elocutionary force indicating devices or events. Sometimes it's not always clear what the speaker intends with their utterance, right? So if it's our words or phrases that make the speaker's intentions is clear. Examples include I promise, I order, or I apologize, etc. This helps listener understand the act being performed through the speech. Next, we have a felicity condition. Felicity condition. Imagine you are trying to perform an actions with your words. So felicity conditions are like the rules you need to follow for that action to be successful. This felicity conditions is very depending on the type of speech acts. For instance, a request might require the speaker to have some authority to make the request, and the listener must be able to comply. I have some rules that depend on what kind of speech acts you are trying to do, guys. The speaker needs to be the right person to say it. For example, like a police officer can give an order, but you probably can because you're just a civilian. Next, the speaker needs to mean it. You can accidentally promise something. So, and the situation needs to be right. Like saying close the door would not make sense if there is no door, right? Now we have the speech events. Speech events is a larger communicative situations with a specific purposes. It in the and often involve a sequence of speech acts. Like, for examples, in a business meeting, like you're a boss that open the conversation or open the meeting, or in the on or in the college classroom when you see the lecture is saying the information, the material that the students have to listen. Then we have the components of speech event. The component of speech events have several key components. There are participants, including the speakers and the listeners also. The setting that refers to the physical and social environment where the Purpose is the reason for the communication, and then speech events involve a sequence of individual actions performed as individual speech acts that contribute to the overall goals. Then we have the role of context in speech acts and events. Context is king when it comes to interpreting what's truly being said and the overall purpose of communications. Here is how it works. Think of context as a puzzle with many pieces. These pieces include nonverbal cues like facial expressions, gestures, tone of voice, and then include social norms like expected behaviors in a situation, and shared knowledge that including background information both speaker and listener possess. Understanding the context helps us put the many pieces of puzzle together. By considering the elements, we can grasp the speaker's true intentions behind their words, illocutionary force, and the overall goal of the communication within the speech. Even here is a study case that I prepared to you. Imagine you're diligently studying in a quiet library when your friend walks up and loudly asks, "Hey, did you finish that project yet?" Like on the surface, it is a simple question, but considering the context, it might be a not so subtle reminder about the project or an indirect request for a project update. The loudness of your friend's question seems out of place in the quiet library, where the social norm is to maintain silence for study. Given that you both likely know the project deadline is approached, the true meaning behind the words is revealed through context, helping to avoid the misunderstanding. In conclusion, speech act theory offers a valuable frameworks for understanding how we use language to not just give an information but also to perform an actions. By examining the different types of speech acts, the role of context, and the broader context of speech events, we gain a rich appreciation for the complexities of human communications. I think that's all from me. Sorry for lack of perfection. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you in another occasion. Bye bye.